three main type of audits or report that we have to produce. Okay, one is what we call is attestation audit. Attestation audit relate to certifying whether the financial statement, put out by statutory bodies or companies, government companies and whatnot, whether they have been prepared according to generally accepted accounting principle lah. So if they comply, they get a clean certificate. If they don't comply, then they receive some people say it's a reprimand. We call it a qualified certificate. Sijil berteguran. Okay. So when you get a sijil berteguran means there's something wrong with the way the accounts are being prepared lah. Maybe you have problem with reconciliation, your books are not up to date, that kind of thing lah. Secondly, what we do is compliance audit. Compliance means you comply with all the rules and regulation in respect of your financial management. Okay? Financial management covers a wide area. It involves how you manage, for example, your budget, how you manage your income, how you manage your expenditure, how you manage your asset, how you manage your investment, how you manage your trust fund. Alright? So since 2007, our department has introduced an instrument, we call it the accountability index. Alright? Accountability index is a very objective assessment of how far and the government agency has complied with the prescribed financial procedures, rules and regulations. What are these rules and regulations? These are all the Treasury instructions, the Financial Procedure Act and all related act lah. So this is the I would consider this whether good governance has been practiced in terms of managing the finance of a particular ministry, department or agency, right? So what we do now, because it's a very objective, we give marks to all the things that how you manage your budget, how you manage it. So we give marks. So we give you a total mark, and based on the mark, then we assign you a rating. So if you get 90% and above, we give you a 4-star, and that is considered excellent lah. Okay. So we have 4-star. If you get less than 50%, means it's unsatisfactory. That means there's no good governance lah in your son. Okay. And this thing is published in our report, so anybody can see lah the performance of the ministry and whatnot. So in doing so, we have two categories. Okay. First category, what you call the compulsory list. Compulsory list means every year we will do this AI. Okay. So who are those in the compulsory list? At the federal level, all the ministries. So every ministry will have a star, whether they get 3-star, 4-star. And then there are 4 major big departments like income tax, custom, JPJ and police. So we do that every year. So you can compare for these department, ministries, agencies every year lah, how they perform, whether they have improved or not, strictly based on the AI. And then the other list is the so-called rotational list. Right? Rotational list means we do the AI once in 3 years. Okay. So we have the first batch, the second batch, the third batch. Now we have completed all of the. So we are going back to the original first batch for 3 years already. So just now I said the compulsory list at the state level, we have the state treasury, we have the SCDCs, and we have the Islamic Religious Council. Yeah. So the rest of it, all the statutory bodies, federal, state, departments are in the rotational list. So we will give their AI once in 3 years lah. So you can compare. Last time they get berapa? After 3 years, have they improved or not? I give you a measurement lah, whether they have improved or not. Thirdly, the one that warrants the biggest attention by Malaysia Kidney and the rest, etc., is the performance audit. This is what we call, generally speaking, we talk about value for money in government programs and projects and activities. Okay, so we look at how far these programs, these project activities have been planned, have been implemented, and been monitored, whether there exists the 3 E's, the principle, the 3 E's principle. One is economy, one is efficient, the next one is efficiency, the third one is effectiveness. So we are looking into how the money is wisely spent or not, whether there is a pembaziran, pemborosan, and the other P is penyelewengan. So one is that a coin, is it? One phase talk about the 3 E's, economy, efficiency and effectiveness. The other side of the coin is the 3P. And the is pemborosan mean extravagant lah. And then penyelewengan, and the other one is the apa ni? Waste. What got just now? I said sorry. Pembaziran. Sorry. This whole day I've been interviewed by a few other people lah. I call it the 3 E's and the 3 P's. But in the language auditors internationally, it is what we call value for money auditing.
Is it selected randomly? Because
yeah, basically it's random, but we have our own criteria, things that we think are material of public interest, you know. For example, PTPTN, sand mining, these are all matters of public interest, right? Although the press also have been investigating, other people also been reporting, we also do our own. Of course, depending on the scope lah. Maybe our scope is different from your scope, or maybe we cover places that are not covered, you see. So we try to be current lah on the subjects, whatever. But basically it's random lah, you're right. Sometimes we do receive suggestion from people, you should do a study on this and study on that. We didn't do the missing jet engine because there was already an investigation we carried, and it was reported in the press. It was also discussed at the PAC. We are also invited to see the PAC, you know. So since there are already people investigating the thing, then let us study their report lah, see whether, because some of these things require forensic, you know. Forensic. I mean, so through the investigation by the police, for example, you remember, not? They said the thing went to where? Uruguay or somewhere. Yeah. So they have their own means of investigating. Because there is a criminal act, you see. When something is missing, you must report to the police, right? So since it's already being investigated with it, we are perhaps for this type of cases they are better equipped than us, you know. So why is the need for me to use my resources to do that? You agree with me, no?
Yeah. So as in
we don't have any presumption. We don't presume people are guilty just because somebody is accused and what. No, we cannot go on that basis. It's not fair. Everything, you know, to me, everything must be properly investigated by an independent party. So in this case, a MINDEF thing, investigated by the police. So rightly so, isn't it? We have been doing if you look at our past report, maybe a report is, for example, on the petrol vessel, I think that was a 2006 report. They also relate to procurement, how they manage the procurement. We were the one who said that, there were some discrepancies between physical progress and financial progress. We are the one who reported the fact that to save the project, the government has to appoint another party and then the cost increase. So that relates to procurement. Well, if matters pertaining to security, okay, let's say I want to audit a weapon system, then you have to be fair. No country in the world will go and tell the whole world, about the secret of their weapon. Right? So if that is the case, if we do it, we put up a special report, give it to the ministry. We tell them this is not right, this is not right. But we don't need to tell the whole world lah. Right? But at the same time, there are other aspects of procurement also and maintenance. We report. You can check the previous years on maintenance of army vehicles, all that. It's all part of procurement. I set the agenda what we want to do for example, for next year now, after this thing, my officer will come with proposal what they want to do. I consider, and I will ask them why you want to do this thing. Then they will say, well, this is the thing that they find reported in the newspaper, or somebody gave us some information that we should do. We'll do that. The other thing, of course, in selection the topics, I would like to do what we call this follow-up audit, something that we have done 3-4 years ago. We just want to see whether there is any improvement or not. That we do when we choose topics. Yeah. At the same time, I'm very mindful that other parties are also doing some type of audit work lah. For example, sometimes I find the newspapers also they write on the government projects and program, right? And also the TV. I think I would say most mainstream TV channels, and of course I'm sure it also been some of these things have been discussed in the blogs, in the alternative media, right? So we try to pick up lah mana yang we think that we should come in. So we are not the only one, looking. So maybe we have been in existence for long, so we get that recognition lah. But we recognize we are not the only one doing this type of what I call reality check. We are doing reality check. I don't receive any call from anybody not to audit. I also get threats of being lawsuit by companies who felt that my report affect their reputation. So these are all occupational hazard lah. But I must stress that these are not the norm lah. I wouldn't say even sometimes lah, very rarely lah.